106 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
Hit it. Welcome back, true believers, to Heroes for Hire Comic Club channel. I'm Matt, as usual. Actually, it's the only person here at Heroes for Hire Comic Club, so it's a one-man operation, mostly. But anyway, without any further ado, it's another episode of Comic Conversations. And I have a guest that maybe some of you don't know or haven't seen, or maybe you've seen him. Maybe you've seen his videos. He caught my attention when I was going through YouTube one day, and he had a video where he had videos where a video series where he went to every comic shop in Georgia and in Michigan. I almost said Minnesota. But anyway, without any further ado, it's Kurt's Comic Reviews is here.
Hey,
thanks
for having me.
Well, thanks for coming on. I appreciate it, man. I know you're probably like, who's this weird guy that messaged me on IG out of the blue and said, hey, would you come on my show? But
oh, don't worry, you're not the weirdest guy to message me on Instagram.
You know what? Probably that I have no doubt.
Yeah.
But what we just do here is we talk about like our love of comic books. You know, maybe we'll talk about movies. You never know where we'll go. I might even talk about alien cover-ups or something. No, we probably won't do that. I'm just kidding.
I've got a lot to say about that.
Yeah, me too. I watched I listen to a lot of Coast to Coast and watched a lot of Ancient Aliens, so I formed my own opinion. Although I don't recommend watching that show late at night because you'll have weird dreams. But anyway, so we'll just come up and ask you I got some standard questions, but we're not going to keep it boring. If you want to talk about something else, you just let me know. If anybody in the crowd, in the audience, in the chat wants to talk or ask a question to Kurt, please feel free. We only got one person here right now, but they can watch the replay if nobody shows up. But sometimes we used to have at least 15 people, but we'll see how it goes. It doesn't matter. We'll talk to each other. It's like just me and you in the room, right? And and if you want like a video of this, I could send it to you maybe on email or something. So
sure.
All right. So what is your comic book origin story, so to speak? Like, did you get bit by a radioactive spider and decided to start collecting comics, and now, or
yeah,
it's the bug?
You got me pegged. That's how'd you guess? Spider, man. No, my dad grew up reading comics. He had a very American experience of riding his bike into a small town and buying comics off the rack at a drugstore with his allowance every week. And I grew up reading his that he just had in a trunk with like Claremont Byrne X-Men. He was getting Iron Man, Teen Titans. What else? Justice League. Late 70s stuff. So I grew up reading that. And I started collecting around the time I was 6. So I've been collecting for about 2 decades now. And you can see I just moved into this house this weekend. So I finally have space for all of my comic boxes in one wall.
Well, I'm glad somebody does, because I sure don't. I'm like surrounded by boxes right now. If they fell over, they'd probably, this would be a short show because I'd probably be crushed by them.
Yeah.
But that would be a nice way to go, though. I mean, crushed by your own comics, I guess. I don't know.
Right.
Probably not.
Well,
Hey, Steve Hilton, say hello. Hey, he said hello to everybody.
What up, Steve?
So everybody be nice to now, Kurt. He's my guest. So some of these people get a little rowdy. They don't ask nothing rude. They kind of joke around. But if they're here, there's nobody here right now, so we're not going to worry about it. But yeah, so you got into that. Your dad getting into comics. It's a funny story that my dad did that when he was in the National Guard. He would go away every summer, and when they went to the PX, he would grab a bunch of comic books and bring them back to me. That's why I got obsessed with G.I. Joe comics. So I mean, I caught the bug early, but I fell off. I don't know. Did you ever have a time period where you're like, I mean, like when I discovered that when I got a driver's license and got dumbed down by seeing all the girls and discovering girls, I kind of stepped back for a while. Did you ever have a moment like, maybe I'm going to step back for a while?
That is a very common. That's my dad's story. Is he discovered cars and girls and then he stopped collecting comics. But I've always been great at multitasking, so cars and girls and all my other hobbies and comics, same time, no big deal. I guess I was pretty focused on music during college, but I was still collecting. I still started a comic book club in college because I just wanted to talk to people about comic books. So no, I've really never slowed down much. I've definitely never stopped.
That's great. That's awesome.
Yeah.
You're one of the OG ones. You never quit. I like it. So you say you focus on music. So are you a musician?
Yeah. When I was in Michigan, I was in 4 bands. I was singing in 3 of them and playing keyboard in 1. And then I moved to Georgia, and I had to start over. There's all new people down here. So right now, I have My Chemical Romance tribute band in Michigan. We have a show in June in Ann Arbor, and I have another My Chemical Romance tribute band here in Atlanta, and we just
Cool.
filmed our promo video a couple days ago, and I'm still pretty sore.
Cool.
So really like that band, I guess.
Yeah, right. I like them too, to be honest with you. I mean, I'm more of the school of like, I grew up on like 80s rock and grunge music in the 90s, but I appreciate My Chemical Romance as well because I wasn't that much older when it came out. So I really like that band, and I like a lot of those groups. Send me a link. I'd like to see
Sure.
check out your tribute band. Send me a link later.
Yeah, the Michigan group is Our Chemical Romance, so there's an Instagram for it and everything.
Okay, I'll look it up. Never mind. I can look it
Yeah.
up. It's all right. So to find the question, I can't read. That's what happens when you get old. So yeah, what kind of what are some of the things you like? I always ask people like, what are the things you love about comic books? And another second part of that question, what are some of the things you hate about, if anything, about comics or about modern comics? Maybe you have trouble with like some of the stuff they do now, or I don't know. A lot of people do now. I hate all the negativity I hear though, but I don't know.
Yeah, when I started the channel, it seemed like the way to get views was to complain about comics. So I started doing some pretty aggressive reviews, and it just didn't work out for me. And then whenever I do a super positive review, that seems to get way more views. And it's not like I'm just chasing views or something. I'm trying to genuinely share passion for the hobby, but it's interesting trying to figure out what people want to hear you talking about when you talk about comic books.
Yeah.
But shoot, I didn't expect that question to be so hard. What do I like about comics? That's hard to put into words. I don't know. I like the art. I like the writing. I'm a literature major. So I did a lot of theater in middle school and high school. So I really like looking at character work. The action has never really been all that important to me. So lately I've been reading a lot of indie stuff because I just like, it's the same reason you read a book or poetry. You just like seeing when an artist can capture that human experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
Make you see the world a little bit differently.
And I just like the ability to like escape whatever reality you're in at the time and just dive in the comic book. And I don't know, man. It's just at a young age. I remember if I can find the book here, I'll show you. Well, anyway, I saw Amazing Spider-Man comic on the news rack in the 7-Eleven, and I had my allowance money, and I went in there and I said, I gotta have that book. It was like ASM 322. I don't know if you ever had a feeling like that when you were younger. You walk and go, this will be mine. Oh yes, I'm getting this book today. And it was the Todd McFarlane book, and I was just like, I never looked back after that. I was like, I gotta get it. So
yeah, I think one of the first comics I bought for myself was Spider-Man 2099 issue 1. I got it for $1 at Time Travelers in Michigan. And I just like it because it was a number 1. I thought that every number 1 issue was super valuable. And then it wasn't valuable for a long time, and then it skyrocketed in value, and I lost it, of course.
Of course. But like I do that too. Like back in the day. Oh, well, the Death of Superman. I better buy 5 copies of it. I'm going to be rich one day.
Yeah.
Even though they're going to bring him back. I mean, it's like nobody ever stays dead. Not many people stay dead in comics, except maybe Captain Marvel. I guess they've really never brought him back. The original Captain Marvel. I mean,
that's true.
But some people stay dead, some people don't. Like it's like, but when they did the I don't know how you feel about it, but remember they made this big deal. Marvel made this big deal. The death of Miss Marvel, right? Kamala Khan.
Oh yeah.
right back the next month. So it wasn't that big a deal. I'm
Right.
like,
It was clearly
back.
just so they could bring her back as a mutant, and it was transparent and pointless. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. But that kind of goes good with what are some things you don't like about what they do with comics nowadays? Because I can tell you, I don't like to complain. I don't like to be negative, but sometimes you're like, what are you doing? What are we even doing anymore?
Yeah. I think my biggest complaint is I feel like Marvel just doesn't value artists anymore. Because I'm really hard pressed to find a Marvel series that I think is quality work. There's a lot of representation now, and there's a lot of trying new moods and trying new artists, and that's great. But where did all the writers go who knew how to have beginning, middle, and end of a good run, and knew how to balance the emotions in a way that's going to have a big payoff after 6 issues or 12 issues or 25 issues?
Absolutely.
I feel like all of those great artists have just moved on to indie stuff.
They have, like they still have like Jonathan Hickman, but how many books can you let him write?
Yeah, and I love Jonathan Hickman, but his latest stuff for Marvel, I just have not been loving.
Yeah. I like it, but it's like I feel like you have this writer and you have Shishido doing the art. So why are they not doing Amazing Spider-Man? Because everybody's complaining about Amazing Spider-Man. So why don't you make that that's your flagship character? I don't understand it.
Right.
And then this Mary Jane thing, but we won't talk about that because then I will go off on a rant. You don't want to hear me do that. But we need to go back to but right now, DC's killing them, I think.
All I'm reading from DC is Absolute stuff, and then whatever Tom King does. I'm really pretty clueless about DC.
Yeah,
I really collected it. So,
well, I was more into Marvel as a kid, but I like some of the DC. And but I'll tell you right now, I don't know about you, but I think the best books out there right now are from Image, Skybound, and Ghost Machine.
Yeah,
for some of the best, not all.
So Image. That's all just Image.
What I was saying about what are some of the artists? Look at the list of artists that they've run off that both companies have ran off. Jeff Johns, Mark Miller, who by the way, I'm very excited for this Vatican City book that comes out tomorrow.
Which one?
Mark Miller. Yeah.
What is it? Oh, what city?
Vatican City, and it's like these vampires that vampire apocalypse, and everybody in the Vatican City are the only people that are alive humans and stuff. So I'm looking forward to that. It's Dark Horse.
Yeah.
Mark
Miller is, huh?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Mark Miller is another one of those writers who, like, I'm looking at my Mark Miller designated section on my shelf right now, and I've got 20 different franchises, right? Because he's working for Netflix, and they're just throwing him a ton of money to make 1 billion IPs that they can choose from. And after reading 10 or 12 of those, I kind of get burned out on this very specific tone that, he's hitting all the exact same beats in every single story, and the dialogue is all super similar. And I'm feeling kind of burned out on Mark Miller. I didn't bother collecting Nemesis Rogues Gallery or Nightclub Volume 2. Big Game was a huge letdown for me a couple of years ago.
Okay, I didn't read that one, but I did like the original Nemesis.
Oh yeah,
this guy was like a stone cold villain.
Yeah.
Like he crashes the president's plane just to prove a point. What is this?
Yeah, I love Nemesis. Steve McNiven art. Love Steve McNiven. Yeah, I don't know. Just lately, Miller's not been doing it for me. But the old stuff, Kick-Ass, Superior, Nemesis, Wanted, Jupiter's Legacy, Huck. I love all that stuff.
So what are you? What's on your current reading list right now that you're getting every month or every week? It's a LCS.
Well, let's see. This that box and that box and that box are all new issues that I've bought in the last few months. So I'm getting all the Absolute titles. I'm getting pretty much everything from Image. Getting 6 or all the Ultimate titles except for Black Panther, I think. All of
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm getting like 40 series right now, and the best ones are Image, for sure.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know. I just think Image is like head and shoulders above everybody right now. And the great thing about Image is they kind of give their artists and writers a certain freedom that you're not allowed at Marvel. Like I saw an interview of I know you probably know who Dan Slott is. He's writing Spider Boy right now, and
Yeah.
he said like he got like death threats for the way he wrote Spider Man. But he said what people don't realize is they said you can't use you can't use this character, you can't use this character, you can't use this character, you can't do that. They're over his shoulder, the editorial saying you can't do this and that. And I feel Image doesn't really do that to artists and writers.
Well, why would they? It's all like self-owned, right? They don't help with the production at all.
So, have you into any of the Energon Universe stuff? Void Riders or anything?
Yeah, I'm getting Transformers. I got Duke and Cobra Commander, and I think I got their G.I. Joe run, and I think most of Destro, a little bit of Scarlet. Void Rivals, I have the first maybe 12 or 13 issues, and then I just wasn't doing it for me.
Hey, I understand. I know a lot of people are like, it's a slow burn, wasn't it? It's like maybe too slow at some points.
Yeah,
and,
I just felt like it was stiff, like some of the character work felt forced. I don't know. And money was really tight for a while there, so I had to cut out something.
Okay, I did that too. I had to cut out a lot of like just trim fat. You know what I mean? Like I was getting like all of the Marvel stuff I could think of, and then I was like, Matt, are you getting Immortal Thor just because Alex Ross does the covers? Because I think that's the only reason anybody buys that.
You're calling me out. Yeah, I haven't read the last 4 issues, but those covers sure are pretty.
Yeah, I like the one with the Enchantress on it, where she's dripping the first appearance of Thor. That's one of the best covers ever.
I love that cover.
It's just we need more like that. We need more Alex Ross in our lives. I know that. I can't get enough Alex Ross.
Can you believe how fast he works, though? Considering like how gorgeous those covers are, I think he said that an average cover takes him 8 hours. So he's doing like a cover a day. It's nuts.
Hey, Swag, that's my friend Swagda. He's got a channel here too. I just don't know how he does it. Like, look how many of these new timeless covers he's come out with already. I think I went a little carried away, and my pull was up to like 60 this month. Because this coming month, because I got like almost every one of them, even if I wasn't reading the book.
Right.
Like I just love love that stuff.
Yeah, they're awesome. I collected all of them too. I think the only one I'm missing from his original run was the Wolverine cover, of course, which is like everybody's favorite, so it's going to be hard to find.
Yeah. It's some of them. Yeah, I had trouble getting the Doctor Doom one. For a while. Yeah. I mean, for a good price, like what I was willing to pay for it. That's what I mean. Because I'm sure you get it if you're willing to pay any price. But I'm one of these guys that tries to be a little bit frugal about what I get. I don't know how you feel. Are you like you were saying about the money situation? I do that too. I'm on like a fixed income anyway. So and I'm trying to go to Heroes Con this year. And
I said, it's gonna be my first year.
Are you going?
Oh yeah. Oh,
awesome.
I mean, I wasn't gonna go from Michigan, but I'm going from Georgia for sure. Yeah, it's only like 4 hours. Yeah.
Well, I'll see you there on the floor. You'll see me.
Yeah. I'm hoping I can do something for the channel there. But no, it's like you were saying. I'm not. There are things that I want, but I'm not going to go out and buy them at regular price. Most of my collection is out of dollar bins and 50-cent bins. That's how I like it.
You can wait, and some of the stuff that comes out, it's not going to be like for every first appearance of Helverine that's going to be a raise in price, or the first appearance of Miles Morales, there's going to be most of it's going to be a dud. That's just my experience.
Right.
Here, but I've got, I have I don't know about you, Phil, but I have a Bronze Age obsession right now. I've been going back and getting all the bronze Marvel and DC I can get my grubby hands on. So I don't know, but that's a tale for another day. I got carried away today. I got like 60 books from a claim sale today, so I have a little bit of a problem. But I got them they were like 4 and 5, $2. So I pat myself on the back for that.
Yeah.
And it tell you that he's like, look, he said, yeah, Kurt, I'm the same, a dollar bin diver for life.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, having been to more than 100 comic shops in the last year, I've seen every issue ever for $1. So at this point, I'm not going to buy anything for more than $1 or $2 unless I'm specifically looking for it that day, because I know somebody's got it for $1.
So you're probably a little bit like me and Swag. We just go in and look and go, what's there, and I'll grab it. It doesn't mean I'm collecting. If it's like good, I'll be like, ooh, George Perez, got to get that one.
Yeah. Oh, I've got Perez's run on Wonder Woman for $1 each. Heck yeah, I'll get those. Yeah.
Heck yeah. It's great art, good writing. I think it is. I thought it was like, I don't know. I think we peaked as a society in the 80s with comic books, but I mean, this is my opinion, but I'm old, so.
I'm not arguing.
Right, what are some of your favorite comic book series of all time?
Well, my favorite. Yeah, no, it's nice that I have my cheat sheet right here. I can look at all of my comics. Longshot is my favorite character for sure. So I've got the 6 issues that I've always had. I've taken them on camping trips my entire life. I love those. I have issue 1 of Longshot signed by Arthur Adams, Will Sportasio, and Nocenti, and graded. And I've got 2 different trades of it. So I love Longshot, but yeah, Uncanny X-Men is definitely the big one. That's what I collected first. It's, Claremont is amazing. The character development in that series is nuts. So definitely X-Men has a place in my heart, but let's see what else. I mean, I've collected. I'm also in a Bronze Age fad right now. I'm collecting all of the Amazing Spider-Man, all the Iron Man, all the Captain America, Alpha Flight, Defenders, Daredevil, Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, like Spectacular. Immortal Hulk was great. Civil War is amazing. I liked Hickman's run on Fantastic Four and then his run on Avengers. Big fan of Alan Moore, of course.
I love Alan Moore. He's one of my favorites. I just recently picked up I got a deal on the first issue of Watchmen. I remember when it came out, I was not that old, but like I read it a few years later. I was like, whoa, I didn't know comic books could do stuff. I didn't know that comics could be like this. Like when I read Dark Knight Returns, Frank Miller, I'm like, I didn't know that comics could be like that.
Game-changing book.
Yeah, definitely. And it's just, I don't know. I fell in love with like stuff like that. Daredevil. And when Frank Miller was writing Daredevil, I just thought it was, I think Frank Miller single-handedly probably saved that character from being canceled, that book from being canceled. And we got Swag saying, your video is great. Your videos are great, Kurt. Are you going to come to every comic shop in Kansas City? That's where he's from.
Missouri. I don't know where Missouri is. If you showed me a map, I wouldn't know where it was. That's west of the Mississippi, right?
Yeah, it's west of us. It's like, okay, you know how Kentucky, when you get to the western part of Kentucky, at the end of it, there's Missouri, and Illinois is up here. That's where it's at.
Oh, okay. All right.
So it's like the gateway to the west. Yeah, that's where everybody went when they were going out west. Back in the day, that was the West Coast. We didn't know how far it went.
Right before we manifested that destiny. Yeah. Missouri is not on my list right now. I will say that Massachusetts, most likely I'm going to do every shop in Massachusetts next month.
Awesome.
That's the plan.
You're probably going to find a lot of books up there. Every time I watch a Lunch Money Comics video, he's in Massachusetts. He's always
See, I thought about doing a state like Tennessee or Kentucky or South Carolina, something closer to me, but the view count on the view count on the Georgia videos was like half what I got on Michigan. So I'm feeling like northern stuff is just going to have more viewers.
Yeah, it might be true. And like, I don't know. I don't get out to my comic shops. I have to do a lot of. We don't have an LCS where I live. It's about 30 40 minutes from my house, the closest one.
Dang.
But I am going down there to see Mark Spear soon, so I'm into that. Okay, let's get into another question here. Okay, here's a kind of it's non-comic book question, but I mean, you do have a YouTube channel, so I think it's a private question. How did you get the YouTube bug? You just said one day, did you just decide, well, that's what I did. I was like, I'm going to start a YouTube channel.
I still do not have the YouTube bug. I find most of the process to be pretty irritating.
Okay.
The entire reason I'm doing a YouTube channel is because I am creating my own comic. I'm currently paying an artist to draw it, and I wanted to build an audience for when it comes out, because when I got into it, I was coming from music, and it's incredibly competitive in music, and I was like, well, it's got to be way easier to make a comic, right? And then I got into it and found out that there were almost as many people making comics and trying to get people to fund their Kickstarters and stuff. And I was like, oh, maybe this won't be a walk in the park compared to music. So I'm building an audience now so that when the comic comes out, I can tell my audience to go buy it, and I probably will lose less money that way. I don't expect to make money, but I will probably lose less.
Well, it's a good thing to promote stuff. Like, you want to talk about this comic?
Sure.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah. Let me get my pages.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. So the premise is, it's a post-apocalyptic book. The world ended due to climate, whatever, and most of humanity left the planet in the rockets, as they do in most science fiction stories, right? They got the frick out of here. There's about 20 people left on Earth, and they're trying to figure out what to do with themselves. Should they bother recreating government? Should they just hang out until they die? Should they worry about reproduction? All that stuff. And in the meantime, someone is killing them one by one.
Oh.
So let me see.
Sounds good. I'll make your screen bigger so you can show us what you got there.
Sure. So that is the first page from my artist. He's actually available right now. Armin Ozdik. He's in Bosnia. He's my artist. I like him because it's very similar to John Cassaday, I think. He's great. I just send him the script and I send him some references, and then he sends me layouts and we talk about it a little bit. Yeah. So that's page 1. And then the second page, it's not colored yet. I haven't found a colorist. I haven't really started looking because it's not fully drawn yet. And then that's page 2. I follow Brian K. Vaughan's example in Saga, where I think you should have a splash page, either the first page or the second page of every issue.
That's one of my favorite parts about Geiger. There's always, like, Gary Frank's always got a huge splash page in the middle. You got to have a splash page. Hey, I was a teenager in the 90s, so I love me a splash page. Page.
I love Gary Frank. I love all the artists at Ghost Machine. They're doing a great job. Let's see.
Well, hey, when you get the Kickstarter going, you'll have to come back and we can promote. I'll help you promote the show anytime. The comic anytime you want.
Sick.
Just let me know. All right.
Yeah.
And we'll get you a couple other people maybe on here, and they would be glad to look at it, and like maybe we could do a review or something. I mean, but just let me know. I'd like to back it because I love post-apocalyptic anything space.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's one of my favorite pages. You got the Japanese succeeded in creating a semi-aquatic man, and we also have teleportation, but then Japan is swallowed by a tidal wave, and then the rocket it's too late. I think I made a lot of mistakes writing this first issue, and I haven't written the second issue yet because I've been waiting to see how the art goes and what the strengths are and what to lean into. But I'm really excited about it, even though I've been working on it for like 2 years now. It's still can't wait to get it done.
It's like a labor of love, though. You know what I mean? You're just something if you want to do this for a long time.
Yeah, years. I started thinking about this project like 7 years ago, and I was just busy with a billion other projects.
You should like me. I have too many irons in the fire. Let me show you. My mother is an artist. I just want to show you something real quick she did for me. And see what you think of it. She does this stuff. Trying to get her to start selling them for like she wants to, because I think there's a lot of people would like it. So I told her to. I had this blank cover of Amazing Spider-Man: Shadow of the Green Goblin, and it's green. And I said, what would be cool? What if we had an homage to House of Secrets 92, except instead of Swamp Thing, you have the Green Goblin looking in the window, and instead of the girl in the House of Secrets, you have Gwen Stacy at the dresser.
Ha, that's great.
You like that?
Yeah.
She's pretty good. I just thought I'd share that with you. I meant to show you that earlier, but when you started saying you had your own comic, I thought I'd show you. So
yeah, that's cool. Nice.
So I'm trying to get her to do more, but I don't know. But I like.
Why don't you show him what I really
I'll show it. I mean, I can't really do that right now, Mom. But Mom's actually slowly becoming a character on this show, so it's kind of funny. But I moved back here a few years ago when my stepdad passed away because I didn't like the thought of my mom being alone.
Yeah.
This is not. I don't know. See, every time I do this show, Kurt, I end up acting like I'm the one being interviewed, but I apologize for that. But okay.
From the very few interviews I've done, I know it's hard.
What do you enjoy anything about doing the YouTube? Because that was my second question was, do you enjoy what do you enjoy about YouTube?
The validation. Yeah, it's I like there was a stretch there where every comic shop I walked into, somebody recognized me, and that was pretty cool.
Oh, that's cool.
But also once in a while, comic shop owners give me deals because they know that I'm out here promoting their stuff, which is awesome. Never expected, but always appreciated, right? But yeah, the actual process of making the videos has become really not fun. I hope that doesn't make people decide not to watch me because they think I'm not having fun, but it's, it's you read a comic and then I pace around the house for like an hour thinking about what I want to say. And then I set up the camera and the lighting and whatever, and make sure I don't look stupid, and then shoot for 45 minutes. And then I got to get my piece of junk laptop to receive the video somehow, and then cut out all the bits where I said the same thing twice. And then I got to do all the zooms and add in the pictures. And it's just a lot. It's just a lot.
Well, it is a lot. I'm more of a fly by the seat of my pants guy. I just get over there and wing it. But I did a lot of improv in like high school, so I guess it helps. We got a question here, and I can tell you, I have a video I can play to tell you what I think of this movie. But he's like, Kurt, Matt, have you seen Kraven the Hunter? And if so, did you like it? Well, Kurt, before you say anything, I'm gonna show a clip that I think sums up what I think of this movie, if I can find it. Never mind, I can't find it. It's okay. This movie sucks. The movie sucks. I'm sorry. I hate it.
Yeah.
Nothing. I know.
It's funny they ask because I just noticed a couple nights ago I had a free night to watch a movie by myself, and I saw that Kraven the Hunter was finally available on whatever streaming service I have. Yeah. And I was like, oh, I should so I can talk about it. But no, I'd rather watch anything else. So I didn't watch it because it looks terrible, and Morbius was terrible, and Venom was terrible. So why bother?
Well, I just don't understand. How do you have Venom without Spider-Man? It's beyond me. Also, Kraven's not a good guy. They made him look like he's a good guy. Like, I know this was kind of origin story, but like the only reason I care about Kraven is because he's one of Spider-Man's rogues.
Right.
So you make a Spider-Man movie without Spider-Man in it. Huh.
Yeah,
I think they're just doing it so they don't lose the rights to do it at this point, I think.
Oh, that might be it. Yeah.
I don't know how much money they're actually making, but I guess they're making a little bit.
I did just watch the third Venom movie, and that was terrible. Don't know why they bothered.
You should have tried to like it. I really did. Well, I try to go into everything with an open mind, but let me tell you what I think about I feel about Craven the Hunter is I think that Thor Love and Thunder was better than it. And I think that sums it up.
Yeah, Thor: Love and Thunder was definitely lots of flavor, but no substance.
That's all style, no substance. Yes, exactly. That's what it was.
Yeah.
There was a lot of cool scenes in it, but like it didn't seem to make sense. You know what I mean? It didn't have a coherent story to it. There was like so much going
Right.
on. And then they just made Gore the God Butcher look kind of weak, in my opinion. I mean, Jason Aaron, the way Jason Aaron wrote him, this guy is like going to end everybody. So I don't know. And then my problem with Marvel, some of the Marvel movies, is they try to like meld all these different storylines from comic books into one story when they should probably focus on the one thing.
Right.
And now there are some great movies, but I mean, hey Bobby, how you doing? It's my friend Bobby. He's another Kansas City boy. Yeah, all the villain movies without Spidey are bad. Yeah.
Yeah. Madam Web was terrible. I didn't even like Captain America. Honestly, I did not like the new Captain America movie.
It was okay, but it was no Winter Soldier. I will be honest. But as you can tell by the shield, I'm a huge Captain America fan. So I was starved for Captain America, but like, I mean, you're right. I mean, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know what they were. It seemed like that was two movies too. It seemed like it was two different movies.
Yeah.
And I mean, I like. It's not because that Sam Wilson's Captain America, because I loved when he became. I thought it was cool. I know people were complaining about it, but I had no problem with it, and because I knew that there was still going to be Steve Rogers, but I just if they could have just kept Chris Evans, I mean, to it being part of it too, and just had the two like they do in the comics, but. Okay, and Adamantium Blade Comic Collectible says I give Captain America 6 out of 10. That's fair. I mean, it's not the worst thing, but it's not it's not the best thing. I guess that's the way I would put it too. What do you think, Kurt?
Yeah, I feel like they really misused the characters. I mean, the leader could have been so much cooler. Red Hulk could have been so much cooler. What's up with Bushmaster being there and we had like one mention of the Serpent Society and then they just never showed up? They never.
And it's going to be a big deal. Like, oh, the Serpent Society is going to be in this movie, and that was it. Though it was just like briefly. I just didn't. Although I do have. Go ahead.
There was that clip in the commercial that they put out a long time ago where the two dudes like teleported into a space, and that made you think that maybe Sidewinder was going to actually do some teleporting, and the Serpent Society was going to be like this super cool spy organization, and just nothing. Waste.
That might have been. What, they might have axed some of that. Remember, they reshot a lot.
Yeah,
and they must have like panicked for some reason because their movies haven't been doing that well. But I mean, and like maybe this is going to be a controversial thing to say, but the Deadpool Wolverine movie, it was great for fan service, but like it was all over the place. I mean, we have to admit that.
It was 100% fan service and no actual story.
So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if that's like I told people. I said, everybody's like, this is going to save them. I said, I don't know if that's going to save them, but I don't think they're going anywhere because I'm sure they make enough money that they don't care. But
right.
Yeah, that's probably right. It's tied into a political atmosphere of no actual story.
I'm looking forward to Thunderbolts, I think.
Yeah, actually, I'm really kind of hopeful for this one because I read a lot of the new Avengers when it came out with Brian Michael Bendis, and really thought the Sentry was cool. He's like this schizophrenic, superpowered hero,
Yeah, I remember reading the Sentry run. There was an oversized hardcover at the library in the town I grew up in, and I read that thing a million times, and all I've got are the floppy little 5-issue trades right now, but I would love that story in hardcover.
Yeah. Oh, and like what he just like rips Carnage apart like he's made out of paper. He's just like, screw
Yeah.
you. Ron."
Awesome.
But the Thunderbolts just have a great cast. I love Florence Pugh. I mean, I could watch anything she does. Not just, I mean, she's very attractive. That's not it. She's a great actress too. And I've not known many bad movies she's done. Like I watched one she did with Morgan Freeman that was great. It was kind of depressing, but it was a pretty good movie. And I like Sebastian Stan. I think he's a great actor. I like the other people in the cast, so it should. I'm hopeful that it'll be good. Okay, another question is we kind of went over this a little bit, but maybe we can elaborate. Just what are some of your favorite artists and writers? It doesn't have to be past, present, or whatever.
Let's see. Well, I mean, obviously Alan Moore I really like, but Chris Claremont, Peter David, J. Michael Straczynski, Jeff Johns, Jeff Loeb, Warren Ellis. Those are all huge for me. Kurt Busiek.
Everybody says it differently. I say music. I don't even know how to say it.
I don't know either. Jeff Smith is huge. I mean, Bone is the single most impactful comic I've ever read.
It's one of the biggest selling comic book series of all time.
Yeah. I love Bone. So Jeff Smith for sure. Grant Morrison, I like a lot of what he does. Mark Waid is fantastic, of course. I mean, I like all the guys who are good, My taste is what is good. But lately, I've been loving James Tynion, Daniel Warren Johnson. Who else?
I love Daniel Warren Johnson, though. Yeah.
Scott Snyder, of course, is doing great.
I don't know if you feel the same way I do, but I think Daniel Warren Johnson's got like an old school like comic art feel to him. Like it's not like real slick, but it's still cool. Like I mean, look, I love a cool variant cover like Art Germ or something like that, but like sometimes it's a little bit slick and overproduced, like a pop record. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And sometimes I like Daniel Warren Johnson because I think he's more punk rock. He's got more punk rock feel.
Pretty and analog and organic. Yeah, kind of like Jim Mahfood or like Jesse Lonergan. You see them working with all the mixed media.
I mean, I don't have no problem with people doing it digitally. I mean, as long as it's not AI, but like, I think it's changed the way comics and like, I have a theory that JR and Frank Miller's art has suffered because of it going digital. I think that's part of the problem. I also think part of the problem with them is that, he had Klaus Janson inking him a lot. And I think Klaus Janson made it look better than maybe it would have been. I don't know what your opinion is on that, but.
Yeah, I mean, Janson definitely, when you see Janson inking on anybody else's work, it ends up kind of pushing it to look more like Frank Miller's work, I think. So when Janson inks Miller, I have a hard time seeing where one ends and the other begins. But yeah, I mean, even if you look at like The Dark Knight Strikes Back, right? Like, I don't even know if this was all that digital. Like, when I look at the art in here, I like it significantly less than Frank Miller's usual stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Abstract. I don't know if that's the right word, but like
he get really abstract.
Very minimalist.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I think Frank Miller is nuts. His art would look nuts no matter how he's making it right now.
That's true. That's true. But we have a couple of questions from the audience. So
great.
I'll put this one up from Adam Antium. He says, Kurt, do you have a link to where to go check out the support of your project yet?
Nope. Doesn't exist to the world yet. But follow the channel as soon as. What's up?
Keep me updated on it. I'll promo it when it comes out, when you get the Kickstarter out.
Sick. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, there will be lots of updates on my own channel, of course, as I go, but I have to get it colored and lettered. And, I dreamed about getting, what's her name? Laura Martin, like the amazing colorist who lives 20 minutes from me. to color it, but I'm sure she's way too busy and way out of my price range. So we'll see. I don't know. I might have to get someone cheap in Indonesia or something to color it.
But whatever works, as long as it looks good.
Yeah.
Bobby wants to know if you could get a beer with any character, who would it be?
I don't drink beer. I only drink whiskey and fruity stuff. But who would it be? I could be a real jerk and say Dr. Manhattan. No, I don't know. Probably one of the X-Men. Popeye.
Yeah, there you go.
Popeye. I guess probably Captain America. I just think it'd be really refreshing to talk to somebody who's so solid in their beliefs and practices, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe Spider-Man. He'd probably be fun to talk to.
Yeah. I don't know if I want to go drinking with Deadpool though, because we'll probably end up in jail or something. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm not a Deadpool fan at all, really.
But I mean, it is what it is. I don't really go out of my way to collect Deadpool or anything like. But I guess if I was going to pick one, it would be. Well, you stole my guy, so I would say Wolverine. Wolverine. I know he's kind of an old curmudgeon, but I don't know. I'm kind of a curmudgeon too, so.
Yeah, I thought of him first, but then I was like, he's probably just gonna want to sit there silently.
He probably doesn't want anybody to accompany him while he's doing his drinking. So,
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, Cyclops would probably be a crying drunk. So I don't.
Yeah, I don't see the point in hanging out with him in a bar for sure.
I kind of have a problem with him anyway. I mean, he's like, I don't know. I guess it's because I could blame Chris Claremont for my not liking him that much. But I'm like when he remember when he was like married to Madeline Pryor, they had a kid, they moved to Alaska, and then he's like, you know what? Oh, Jean Grey's back alive. Bye.
Yeah, that came out of nowhere. That's right around the time I started collecting my run, and I remember being so confused because all of a sudden there was Madeline, and all of a sudden there was a kid, and then all of a sudden the Cyclops was gone, and it was just weird. It felt really weird.
And Bobby says he thinks that Wonder Woman could drink him under the table. She could probably drink any of us under the table, Bobby.
Heck yeah, if it's Gal Gadot, she's gonna kick your ass.
Yep. What's he say? What's that about? Absolute Wolverine for multiple beers until the inevitable brawl for Professor X for intellectual stuff. Well,
I guess chatting with a telepath would be pretty insightful.
Yeah, actually, it'd be cool to kind of party with Rogue because I like her southern accent. She'd be like, "You want another round, Shug?"
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
So, do you collect anything else besides comics?
I'm sure I do. I collect. I'm sentimental to a crippling degree. I keep everything. Yeah. What else? I mean, cars. I collect little cars. I really like those. What else do I collect? Tons of things. Buttons.
I got into a new bad habit of collecting G.I. Joe figures from the 1980s, which is an expensive rabbit hole to go down.
Oh, you know what?
Uh-oh. What's he going to see? What we're going to see?
What a great time to share with the world my passion for the greatest game on the planet.
Let's see it.
Tactics. You ever heard of a Tactics?
Oh, yeah.
I've got
no, but it's kind of like the Sky Rider thing, or what do they call it?
I don't know.
I can't remember. Oh yeah, like okay, I remember these things. Are they like
yeah, they
shoot, knows what they are. Yeah,
little spring-loaded projectiles.
Oh, cool.
Well, I've got
are they like hero clicks or something?
So they behave kind of similar to hero clicks. They move. They have a little wheel under them, and they click. And and they say how far they move, and then you shoot at the other characters, or some of them
Okay.
have like spring-loaded lightsabers you can do whatever with, and it's just a last man standing game, you know. Or like you got Venom with the
All right.
big old claw.
Adamantium Blade Comics says, "Careful, you'll shoot your eye out."
More likely you'll lose the bullets.
Yeah. Oh, do you know how many G.I. Joe toys that I had missiles that fired that are lost now? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So those
Yeah.
look pretty cool, though. I'm gonna have to get into that. You brought out the inner child in me again, looking at toys. I love toys.
Yeah, they stopped making them forever ago, and now they're super expensive.
I got my little my old He-Man toy still. I got the He-Man,
Nice.
and I found all my G.I. Joes, and my collections are all over the place. I've been buying some of those McFarlane statues, McFarlane toys, Marvel statues, and but I had to cool out on that because that stuff, it's an expensive game doing stuff like that. And,
Yeah.
Okay, he's talking to Adamantium. Is there any more questions in the audience or in the chat? About
Very interesting person. Asked me lots of questions.
we got a very mysterious, intriguing person here today. You could say he's the most interesting man in the world.
You could
But,
say that. You
People
can
say
say
it about
whatever
me
you
all
want.
the time. In my mind, they do, but it's not. Really. Oh, I got a question. What's some of your favorite music?
Favorite music. So my music journey is even crazier than my comic journey, because as a kid, I only listened to Christian rock and Weird Al, and I knew
Okay.
2 Huey Lewis songs. And then when I got into high school, I started catching up. But I'm mostly into alternative stuff right now. Lately I've been listening to Dead Poet Society, Wolf Mother, Rain Wolf, Nothing But Thieves. I like that kind of dirty Southern stuff, like
Yeah,
Pistol
yeah.
Fire, you know. But my own personal project is probably going to be, I kind of want to mix the kind of dirty South acoustic stuff with the 808s and kind of darker club music of Atlanta, you know, kind of get a dark nighttime forest kind of sound.
Okay, cool. Well, we have a couple of questions here. One's from Swag Days. Like, what book are you currently reading now?
Harry Potter. Did he mean comic book?
Yeah, I think that's what he meant.
Yeah, I am currently reading through Harry Potter for the first time in my life. I'm on book 5, and it's way better than I thought it would be. Before that, I read Holy Roller all the way through. Before that, I read my entire Iron Man collection, which was issues 170 through 250. Before that, I read I tried to read all of Cerebus. I got through 10 volumes and then got really tired of it. Cerebus is rough. But right now I'm between like series that I'm doubling down on because I'm trying to get through Harry Potter. I'm just borrowing each book from whatever school I'm substitute teaching in. So I just sub there and take their book, and then I keep it for like 3 weeks, and then I sub there again and put it back in the bookshelf, and nobody notices. So I just kind of.
Bobby says, "Do you have a favorite football team?"
Well, I'm from the Detroit area, so I guess if I had to have one, it would be the Lions, and we were all pretty excited this year until we weren't excited, right?
Oh, well, at least they got further than they used to. I mean,
Yeah.
Speaking of the Lions,
Hey, that's a guy. I don't know anything about football. I did grow up right next to U of M, so I knew some people who were on the football team for U of M. But
Thomas O'Donnell Comics wants to know, what's your dream state destination to do LCS reviews?
That's a good question. I think New York is the dream. Because some states like California and Texas and Florida will probably be really cool. But they're just going to be so much work. And New York being, such a hot spot for comic books and my favorite city in the country.
Mhm.
And not only is it Manhattan and the five boroughs and whatever that has good stuff, but also you get out into the wilderness. I'm hoping there's some driving around the waterfalls and the mountains out there. So New York as a state is definitely one I'm looking forward to the most.
I've always wanted to go to Midtown Comics. I've never been there.
Which one? They got like 4 or 5 locations, right?
Well, any of them, I don't care.
Yeah, I've been to a couple of them. The one in Times Square is all right. It's a few levels. When I had just graduated high school. I was looking for something to do during my gap year, and I just threw a bag in my truck and drove to New York and stayed in this terrible Airbnb in Brooklyn, and went to comic stores and the park and all that stuff. But I did this thing where I took a little journal with me on the subway, and I just stayed on the subway going around in loops and stuff for 11 straight hours. And I would just walk up to random people and ask them, like, tell me about themselves and what they do for work and their favorite memory and stuff like that. And that is one of the coolest things I think I've done.
That's really cool. You sound like you're a very adventurous person. I like it.
Thank you. I try. Don't be boring. That's my goal.
I don't like being boring. It's too boring to be boring.
Right. I'm gonna get bored if I'm boring.
Well, if there's not any more questions, I guess we'll and I'm sure Kurt's a busy man. You sound like you have many irons in the fire, as they say. But I really appreciate you coming on, and
Yeah. Thanks so much for having me.
If you ever want to come hang out with us on a stream, let me know. I'll add you to the group chat if you want to.
Sure. You said it's Mondays?
Yeah, I do a show Monday at noon Eastern, and I have a hangout show on Thursday nights at 7 o'clock to whenever. We went for 5 hours last night breaking down. We broke down the 4-minute clip they released of the Superman movie.
Oh yeah.
We talked about it at nauseam until people got sick of hearing us talk about how cool Crypto looked in it, and whether it was CGI or not. I'm on the end. I think Crypto is CGI. What do you think? I don't know.
I haven't seen that clip. Knowing it's James Gunn, I wouldn't be surprised either way.
Yep. Well, I'm glad that James Gunn's at the helm, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But anyway, anytime I drop the link, it's like the same we do StreamYard. So if you ever want us to come out and chop it up with us, just I can send you the link anytime. You're welcome anytime. You got open invitation on my channel anytime, sir. I like the content. You seem like a cool dude. Hope to get to know you better. Swag is CGI, so 80% CGI. Okay. I don't know. It would be cool if they used a real dog, though. But anyway, I guess that's it for us. I'll bring you back in. You don't have to go away if you want to. But we'll be backstage after this. And as I always sign off, I say, until next time, true believers, Excelsior.
Come, son of Jarrell! Kneel before Zod! Snoochie Boochies.
Does he say Scoochie Boochies?
Snoochie Boochies.